if you're leading with hate, if you're acting out of hate, it's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going
It's
to
gonna
get you.
come back around
It's
and
going to
bite you.
it's going to come back around and bite you. And I ask this respectfully, man. Like, have you acted with hate in your life?
Every time I try, every time that I constantly try, even when I was in penitentiary, I wake up and I used to say, okay, I got to do this here. So what are my reasons for doing it? Cause I used to ask God sometimes. I said, okay, if I'm doing it just for myself, then that don't check the boxes. Why? Well, you doing this here because if this dude keep moving the way it is, you just finna touch him up. But if he keep on the way he going, he's finna end up somebody gonna kill him. So maybe he'll learn something from this. It always had to be that, or else with the way this guy here is going, he's finna cause a race war, or he finna cause a war. And we got homeboys doing their legal work. We got homeboys close to go home. It's gonna be 5 or 6 men lose their life behind his stupidity. So that's got to stop right
Mm.
now. And
Mm.
my reason it always try to be, I don't try to go in anger, which I probably have got mad sometime in the process. But my general idea of thinking when I think about it, because when I go to sleep at night, I always replay everything that happened that day in my head, anything that I missed. But when I look at a situation and I feel like I didn't address it right and I feel like I overdid it, I come back and try to make up for it on the
Mm.
slide. And I ain't gonna kiss they behind, but I come back and let them know, yeah, man, I live rough on you. Yeah. Well, what's going on? What you need here? What you need that? So I come back on that, but I always try to make my decision on the fact that is it gonna help him, is it gonna save his life? Cause the way he going, somebody gonna kill him. We had an incident with one of our homeboys. He got on the door and said Serenio, Serenio. He said some wild stuff about him. They was Serenio finna marry on TV finna marry this black chick and he talked so bad about the black chick and everything going on, and he was just disrespectful on the door. And all these dudes, all of them I know, Psycho, Gasolino, all them, every last one of them dudes had. You ain't gonna pretty much get the ADX except like me, but everybody else down there, you done kill two sellers at least, or done kill one cell.
To get to Supermax, you
Yeah,
need
yeah, get
to.
there. Yeah, so you ain't just you don't just get there. Babyface, well, he had to kill three, but these dudes here, all of them had bodies in prison. And these dudes come out and they lined up. They lined up. They ready. Bam, we ain't trying to disrespect. Listen, man. I said, I understand y'all. We got this here and going on. Then we dealt with the dude, but we dealt with him not to death, but to teach him a lesson. And that dude, God be my witness. I seen that dude 2 years later, man. He said, man, I didn't know that was them dudes. And he called out the name. He said, yeah, I've been hearing about them dudes, man. I didn't know that was them when I was saying. He said, man, I thank you, Bam, man. I said, man, I'm trying to go home, man. I ain't got. He said, man, and I said, yeah, man. I said, that's basically the reason why I did that, man. Cause you sitting there, you putting yourself in a situation. Them dudes ain't got nothing to lose, man. And you just saying something that sounds slick on the door and being disrespectful toward them dudes that they race, and that ain't cool at all, And so sometimes you have to do it for the person on good or for the environment on good. You know what I'm saying? But I try not to, like I said, I try not to let hate be the leading factor. I'm only human though. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
remember, I tell you what the preacher dude tell me, said, why you care so much about the guys who out there doing all the shooting? And my question to him was, why don't you care enough about them? That's the question. You know what I'm saying? You're a pastor, man. How can you not have love in your heart? These children, you know what I'm saying? These somebody children and going on.
That's right.
They making mistakes and going on. They going on, and unfortunately, some people die for it. And the best thing we need to do is get to them people and talk to them kids, man. And cause they means and they ain't dummies. We have to show them where it's beneficial to you not to handle this situation this way. You know what I'm saying? Look at what I done lost. I lost 27 years of my life, and I come out here, I'm the dumbest dude in the room now. Everything done changed. That's not a cool way to be. Everywhere I go where the bottom used to be, which bottom is ideology now in our hearts and all over the world, but still, when I go to places I used to hang out at, it ain't nothing but grass and weeds. So time don't stand still for you. Don't go in jail and think you're gonna come back out and then time gonna stand still and you're gonna pick up where you left out because it don't exist like that. My record in penitentiary does not show you no model inmate. I fought against things that I thought was wrong. I stood up against things. I got gas and going on. If they put me in a situation that was wrong, I fought and I stood on it. And I come out here and do the same thing. So I wasn't. They done broke me to the point that I'm coming out here and saying what I'm saying. I'm saying what I'm saying because it makes sense, and I don't want to see these children instead of be taking lives and look at well, they're not taking a life, they ain't doing nothing but exchanging a life because this person died and you go to jail the rest of your life, you ain't took nothing, you ain't walking away clean free. When a person is committed to what he doing,
That's right. Unbending.
whether it's murder or what it's this and that there, he's gonna be good at it. He's gonna put his heart into being good at it. So if you can find something else for him to put his heart into, he gonna be good at that too. Some of these guys who I was around, who were a good friend of mine, and I trust them with my life, got 33 bodies and going on like that. But their mindset now is they don't they if they had it to do over again, they'll do different. And they also want to help the children to make different decisions going on. They can't take back what they did and going on. But yet and still they would change that. And that's the thing about a place like that. I be in there. I done seen dudes come in there and them sons going to come in there and they intelligent, super intelligent. And then in 2 years they eating feces off the wall, covering themselves in feces and eating feces off the wall. They eating their food off
Why do you
the
think that is?
they go crazy because if the brain can't reach outside and connect with something, then it's gonna turn on itself and turn inside.
Did you see? Did it?
I seen it,
Did you
man.
see anything with yourself that way? Did you start to go
What
that
I
way
used
at
to
all?
do, what I used to do is number one, I cut off everybody, do my Bible study. The only person I stayed in contact with was my sister and a friend of mine named Billy, the kid I had helped a long time ago, stuck with me through the whole bit. But I would I had a routine. I get up, watch my cartoon, and I read my Bible, and I cut off the world. It's like being in a glass sarcophagus. You can see the world, but you can't affect it in normal fashion. So it's basically you put yourself through hell because you can see everything going on, but you can't touch it. You know what I'm saying? So by you seeing, that's like the old dude said one time. If you gonna lock me up forever, take my window too, cause I don't want to see what I'm missing.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? That's the same thing with me. I can't. If my daughter called me and say, "Hey, this happened here," what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna walk around an 8x10 cell and get mad. So there's nothing I do. So I don't need to hear that. I don't need, cause that ain't do nothing but mess up my bed, and then I'm gonna be done zapped out because now my brain gonna be trying to figure out ways that I can help her. Then I'm gonna start faulting myself because you can lie to a lot of people, but you can't lie to yourself. When you sitting in that cell, everything the situation you said, oh come on man, I know I should have did that better. Oh, I didn't have to do that way. You go through that with yourself, and you got to forgive yourself for those things. If you don't forgive yourself for those things, it'll eat you up and drive you crazy. So you have to look at the things and say, okay, I was who I was then, but I'm gonna be somebody different now. But I should have did that better, and now I will do that better if I get another opportunity. But you can't lie to yourself and say, well, I did that because he was finna swing at me and going on. Because when you replay it back and everything, you can see, man, that dude wasn't finna swing at you. You was just mad and you did that going on. So you have to, and if you lying to yourself, then your brain gonna start playing game with you. Now you ain't gonna be able to believe nothing. You ain't gonna be able to believe nothing you say. And so you always keep it real with yourself. Hey man, yeah, I shouldn't have did that, but that's behind me now. Forgive myself for it, and let's get on and do this here and make sure I don't do it no more. And like me, when I make mistakes, because I like chocolate, and whenever they have something that I like, if I do something, then I punish myself by not eating it, not eating whatever I like.
So, like what? Like give me an example of that.
Like if they have, I love chocolate, so if they have chocolate cake, and I didn't cuss, cause as you see, I generally don't use profanity. If I didn't cuss, then cussed and been in the conversation, cause I don't lie. I don't like to argue. I don't like myself to argue. So sometimes we out to wreck. Most of the time inside we had to talk with sign language, but out there we at wreck. We can talk through the fences or over the wall. So if I get in a conversation and get a little heated, come on, cause it take me like 3 days to calm down when I get mad. That's why I don't like to get mad. So I'll come back in, and next good thing they have, I take it out the plate and smash it up and throw it away, cause that's my punishment for lying to myself. So that make me think twice about doing it again. So I try to make it a habit of punishing myself because I know I ain't gonna allow nobody else to do it. So I check myself to keep somebody else from having to do it, and that used to kind of keep me pretty much. It didn't keep me straight. It kept me sane though.
Hey, man. Sean, what you got anything else that you want to talk about, man?
People don't understand like how early, you know what I mean? Like this, as far as Bam, we're talking about 13 years old. You robbed that store, and when he told me that, I'm like, man, I was 13. You know what I mean? What you know what I mean? I was playing with Legos and shit, and I'm like,
No, I was helping mama get some rent money.
so if you know, and I think that's you know, what I mean, just to he was just so advanced. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it. But the story where he actually robbed it was a convenience store, a liquor
Yeah, yeah.
store.
No, it was a regular little corner store, but we I heard the man in there talking about telling the police that the alarm, if the alarm go out more than twice, it's just a rat chewing through there. I was getting my grandmother some green, so I come back up there with a partner and looked it over, and we jiggled the thing, jiggled it 3 times. Police came 2 times, didn't come it in, but it's a big old drop down there, so I had to get a bag, get a pillowcase, and tie a string on the pillowcase, and I had to take the pipe, go down the pipe, and then get on the desk where the cash register at, and then you get off there. So I get on the pipe, so I get the screwdriver, get in the cash register, and I grab all the money. But when you pop it open, it's got the money under there and some rings and stuff. I guess the dudes buying rings for people in the neighborhood or where they was pawning or whatever. So I grabbed all that out, and I just went on start throwing everything in the pillowcase. Then start grabbing the most expensive liquor I could and put it in my pillowcase. Then I get out of it and I went home. And I get in my room. My brother come back there. Like, what you got there, boy? Let me see what you got here and going on. So I give him his cut. And then he looked through the ledger. He like, man, where'd you get this from? I said, I got that on the case. He said, man, you got to take this back. I said, man, I'm not finna go break back in no store and I just already. He said, no, dude. He said, man, listen, this belongs to the mob, man. It's got too many names in it. He said, you better take this back now. He said, I'll go with you. This son gonna scared. He's scared to death of
Mm.
burglary. He went back with me. He went back with me, and I climbed down. He said, "Put that Jimmy exactly where you got it from," and I put it back on in the cash register where it was for the
So, yeah, that's wild to me.
last 6 months. Next 6 months, I was peeping at every car passed by.
We family or we're not gang related. We call it bottom because just the name of the neighborhood. We from the bottom. So we all mad bottom boys. So we could go anywhere. But Bloods, Crips, stuff like that, they can't go everywhere because they limited. We ain't limited. Yeah, we number one. We go anywhere. Yeah.
What y'all up to, man?
Yeah, bullshit.
You got my OG here, and then you got my young G here.
There you go.
Both my OG.
Both your OGs, huh?
Yeah.
Cardo, man. Let me start with you. Put you on the hot seat, man. Who are these? Who are these men sitting next to you, man?
American Mother One. Nah, nah, this big and this big this my blood right here though. This from what I heard from ain't held the family. You know what I'm saying? Held it down, make sure everybody was in line. You know what I'm saying? And I always heard this uncle right here, Bamm. He the muscles wild thing. You know what I'm saying?
Wild things, huh?
Wild thing. Yeah, that's all I heard about you, man.
Did you hear when you were locked up? Did you hear that Don got out?
Oh yeah, Big Don did all my legal work. That's who did all my legal work. After he left, Larry Hoover started doing my legal work. Leader of the GDs. But Don, when you come visit Don told me, cut that foodness off, man. The man want to come see you and going on because I listen to him. Like I said, I don't listen to him. I ain't never been scared of nobody. But this dude here got a love and loyalty that makes you want to hear what he say. You know what I'm saying? He quiet, but that son gonna stand behind everything he say.
Don, you
That
said
nigga
you
gonna
could-
feed your family. He'll feed your family. He gonna stand with you in anything you get into. But when he tell you something, he gonna tell you what's right, and that's why I love him. He ain't cutting no corners. He ain't gonna always tell me what I want to hear, but he gonna tell me what's right.
How about you, man? What did you think you was gonna see Bam? Did you think he was gonna get out?
Oh yeah, I already know he gonna get out.
What was the first thing you thought when you seen him?
Shit, he was at home. That's the only thing I could have thought. Yeah, we all made it back home.
What was it like for you the first time you seen the Bottoms after you was gone for so long?
Fucked up. Cause everything was gone. It ain't the bottom no more, really. You know. Well, I mean, from living, you know what I mean? But they still home though.
Yeah. I remember you were saying that last night.
Yeah. They're still home. But, I mean, they'll change it, but they're still our home though.
Yeah.
We always gonna be bottom. You can't take that out of us.
What is the Bottoms to you?
Hmm?
What's the Bottoms to you?
Home. It's always gonna be home. Regardless of what they do down there, it's still home. I remember everything that was down there.
Can you describe it?
What, the bottom? Yeah, I can describe. What part you want me to describe?
Take me through it, man. Take me through.
Wait,
You know,
what-
Fannin Street. You know, like late. You know, 1988. Tell me what I would see down there. Like, what was the energy like?
But everything in '88, but most everything was still there in '88. I go back to the '70s on Louisiana, coming down Fannin Street. When I was coming up, all the way to 1100 block. How we lived and what we did and everything.
How do you remember the Bottoms, man? Like back then, the 80s.
Well, man, I was coming up at a generation under him, man, going on. But I listened to the old heads and I watched the way they regulated. They didn't go for nothing. They wasn't shortchanged on nothing. And that made me figure like, I deserve the same right. Ain't nobody gonna treat me no any kind of way because I come from the bottom. I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna be a man and I'm gonna go by these codes. They had certain codes that was already instilled. That's why I like it in the new generation. The new generation with Cardo and the dudes coming up, they ain't no punks. But they ain't going for nothing, but yet still they men's. They can think. And when you got thinkers, you can achieve something. You got dummies, you can't achieve nothing. And that's the same thing. I took what he taught me and I took it a step further. And prayerfully, Carter will take what we know and he'll take it a step further. But he the next generation. He our legacy. He all we got.
You know, a lot of people told me about like the ethics and the code of the Bottoms. How you take care of each other.
Yeah.
What's that mean to you?
Everything. Shit, that's why I came up. But when I got, Bamm them was, I remember when they were left, we was staying on Travis Street and stuff like that. And hell, but I just growed up to do good. I mean, done good, that means done for the whole hood. Then we go outside the hood, we help people and all that type of shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ain't got to be really from the bottom. All you got to do is just be real.
That's it.
You don't have to be from the bottom, for somebody to do something for you.
Because a lot of people I heard wanted to be down there, huh? Like a lot of people always wanted to come down there. Like that was the place to be.
That was the place to be.
Yeah.
But back then, it was. You couldn't come unless, you had to know somebody. But over the years, it changed. As long as you just come down there and just do you and go on back, don't start no shit or nothing like that, you all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get a pass like that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
But when you fucked up, you get served.
Yeah. Down there.
Yeah, when you messed up, you get served.
Yeah.
Because you're disrespecting us. That's our home.
Yeah.
That's any neighborhood you go to, it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
If you go to Cedar Grove, if you go over there and mess up, they're going to serve it because that's their neighborhood.
But was the Bottoms different?
Yeah, bottom always been just, we number one.
Always been that way.
Yep. Yeah, we number one. We go anywhere. Yeah. See, we family oriented, we're not gang related. We call it bottom because just the name of the neighborhood. We from the bottom, so we automatic bottom boys. That's how they work. But we could go anywhere, but Bloods, Crips, stuff like that, they can't go everywhere because they limited. You know, we ain't limited. Yeah, we original. We go anywhere.
When did the Bloods and the Crips start showing up around Shreveport?
Look, when Tim them came from California, when they ran them up from out of California,
80 something. 'Cause
80
I got out
something.
the period in
It was
87.
back in the 80s, something back in there.
Wasn't
I
there
got out
a
in 89.
what happened? Wasn't there a time when some Crips came for the bottoms?
Man, we served them too.
What happened that night?
We just had a little shootout. That's all.
But they came. Why? They thought that they could take the money, or what?
No, well, but they were tripping. They didn't really know what we were gonna do, but they got served.
Do you guys remember what that was over?
No, some shit happened up there with some other homeboys and shit.
Okay.
Well, that's all we need to know, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we mess with our people, so we get served.
Yeah.
They went in hiding about 2 months and all that type of shit. Yeah. We went on a hunt.
Yeah, they surrendered. That happened.
They surrendered.
Yeah,
That happened.
we made them
quick.
call the truth.
Happened quick. Yeah, quick. Dude jumped out and seen Quick, seen how little Quick was, and the guy sit there and talk crazy stuff to Quick, and dude sit there and said woo woo, and then so Quick said no, everybody get back. Quick said no, man, everybody ready to go to war with him.
But they been down there, just having fun with us and shit too before all that happened though. We were cool with them, through the city and shit though. But when they just mess with our people, that's what we do.
Yeah.
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 We got to defend your own people. Shit, you don't. Somebody get hurt out.
You know what I heard? I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, but that if something went down there, if there was violence down at the bottoms, it was only because people were protecting their own. It wasn't really violence on each other.
No. Well, we have fights and shit. Me and Bamm had a fight before.
You and Bamm fought?
Yeah,
3 days.
Yeah,
I heard my
3
dad
days,
and Bamm had a fight before.
Hey, come on, tell me about that.
We were just tripping, drinking, having fun. But
3 days.
What you mean 3 days?
Well, I'm just saying. Well, I'm the
3
big
days,
one.
'cause
Cause
I told
we
you
we
I'm
fought and we
tenacious.
drunk gin. And we,
I can't
we
beat
called
him. That
quit.
son go
And
when
he
he
said he
try to
wanted to whoop
fight
me
me.
again, so we just started again. So
So for
Yeah,
3
so-
days, y'all wait. So hang on. So
Yeah.
just hang on. So for 3 days. 3 days. So y'all got
we fought the day, then we stopped in the mall. He drunk again,
he-
so he won't try it
He
again,
was
so, shit like that.
intermediating. It wasn't cause if he tell me something, that's it. That's law.
Yeah.
And he was intermediating for somebody else, and I didn't cut for it. And I said, don't tell me nothing about that no more. And once I said, don't tell me nothing about something, that means that's the end of it.
Yeah.
So then he kept telling me, so going on, and we started fighting. But I was swinging, hit him in the shoulder, and he wouldn't even hit me. He hit me on the shoulder and knocked me halfway across the street. But finally, his mama called us both in there and said, listen, y'all got them babies confused. They don't know what to do. She said, they love both of y'all. You know good and well, if somebody come down there and touch every one of y'all will kill them dead. So y'all cut this mess off. Y'all drink this gin, and y'all go out there, and y'all let them babies know that y'all are made up. And we said, yes, ma'am. That's what we do. When somebody mama tell us something, that's it.
Tell me about that. Tell me about women in the bottoms, man.
Those are our matriarchs, man. We did what they say, and we understood to understand. If me and him get into it, Miss Helen B tell me something, I don't care about none of that. That's law. That's law. What she said.
You always gotta respect your older,
Law.
elder people and stuff, because they be telling you right.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
See, that's
I listen to my mama. Cause nobody else tell me nothing. Police, judge, nobody. On my mama, I listen on to my mama. If she say something, I listen. But anybody else, they don't tell me shit. I just hear them say shit, but I cuss somebody in the courtroom, everything. They don't mean shit to me. What they gonna do? They gonna do lock me up. I'm gonna get out again. Shit. They don't mean nothing to me. But don't nobody tell me nothing about my mama.
What was you gonna say, Cardo?
I said that's the difference between the generation nowadays. Like you say, well, older niggas, especially like them, these OG, if they say something, man, that's law. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of niggas growing up, they ain't got no OG, then especially like these niggas, they real in the game, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got no, like,
They
young
ain't got
niggas ain't gonna
respect
respect
and
it.
stuff,
They ain't,
you
you
know?
know what I'm saying? They try to get their own straight, so they just like, you know what I'm saying? That's where they crash it, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got no respect, man, ain't nobody learning. This how they, and that's what it is. Like, ain't no law being laid down on their side. You know what I'm saying? I had these dudes, for example. So that's why I always been different and stood out. You know what I'm saying? Because like he say, man, if older say something, you know what I'm saying, that's law. You know what I'm saying? It's respect
You
thing.
gotta respect the older people. That's where I came up. You know what I
For
mean?
real, you gonna get served,
When
like
I was
I'm
doing something
saying.
wrong, and somebody, I'm gonna tell your mama you better stop. So we had to stop because they're gonna tell our mama, shit like that. So then you learn from that.
See, that's
You
the
know what I
thing
mean? And
about
you
it.
just carry that on through when you get your kids or whatever. You do the same thing.
See, that's the
And
thing
teach them to
about
be men.
investing.
And you know what I mean? Women have to be respectable to a man and all that type of shit too, though.
Yep.
So,
See, that's the
women ain't
thing
got no
about
business
it.
talking no shit to us. Well, I ain't going for that.
That's the thing about investing in people's life. Dunn would not just. I mean, this dude here. If your car is broke, he gonna get it fixed. If your folks ain't got nothing to eat, he gonna make sure you got something to eat. If you in a fight, he gonna go to fight with you. So when he says something, it means something. Not because you were scared of him, because he done showed you that he invested in your life. That's why people love him the way he was, because he never cared about that stuff. He was all the way around the board. Sometime, if you lucky, you'll get a big homie he's a 2 out of 3. But when you get a homie that's a 4 out of 4, you got him all the way around the board. He'll fight with you. He gonna help you with your finances. He gonna feed your family. And if your car broke, he gonna get under there with you. And then you can't lose with no dude like that. You gonna go to war with that dude every time. You understand? It don't matter. It don't matter about nothing. You willing to die with that dude. But not because you scared of him, but because of the love that he showed you.
And how I grew up, man, these was the dudes that I seen every day. That's how they acted with each other. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like he say, 4 out of 4. You know what I'm saying? The people that my dad hung around, they kept around. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why he said he was concerned about the people that I hang around because it's like
You
family.
don't see
with
it
them.
like that.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
like
see that
it's
type of
different.
character.
Generation different. Like he say, man, these
Yeah,
people 4 out of 4 with
everybody
each other.
different,
You know what I'm saying? You can call them for anything, like financially. You know what I'm saying? On some real shit, like you know what I'm saying? They there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like that nowadays. You gotta worry about nigga crossing, sneaking, you know what I'm saying, playing both sides, you know what I'm saying? It's all kind of stuff.
Do you see that, Don? Like, what do you see about like what's going on the streets today?
I just see a bunch of bullshit now because it ain't like it's supposed to be.
Oh,
How so?
He got a cup right there.
Well, 'cause all they done just kill up one another. They don't. When we came up, we a fight. You know what I mean? We want just kill one another, but that's all they do now. They ain't gonna fight nothing now. Everybody want to win. So all for them win, they do drive-bys and all that type of shit. That ain't no good right there. You don't kill. You don't really know all your people now. You know what I mean? Because over the years, well, by saying me, I don't know all my people. You know what I mean? Because I've been gone. I know the ones that I left here, and they had kids, and their kids done had kids, and stuff like that. So that's why I just try, stay low key, so I won't mess my own people up, shit like that. But they ain't done what we were doing back then.
And the stupidity
Yeah.
is when what the children is caught up with is they done followed the wrong example.
That rap
And,
shit.
and the example that they following, not only that, but they following some of these dudes who never would have rose to the spot they is if they hadn't swept us out the way.
Yeah.
Because we had moral aptitude. So now when they swept us out the way, people who would never supposed to been rise up to that spot,
They got
rose
wide
up to
open.
that spot. Now they leading the example. They going on.
So you think that like the culture of the streets today, or what's going on in Shreveport today, is a product, or you could say it's really going on in so many cities, a product of mass incarceration and many
That's exactly. They swept us out the way, and we got our youngsters. They grew up
Without
without
that-
us.
Yeah.
without
They grew
that
up. They had
moral
suckers,
role model.
They had suckers teaching them.
Yeah.
These dudes, for us to be, that's why I get mad about society. For y'all to be angry at these little dudes for being who they are. They followed the example that was given to them. Y'all swept the good examples out the way, and now y'all mad at them because y'all allowed these good examples. Now we back out here. Give us a chance to work with these dudes and going on. If we sit here and say, hey, instead of giving this dude 20 years, let's work with him.
Yep.
Give him 5 years and let's work with this and going on. Give us a chance to try to fix what y'all broke. But don't sit here and tell us y'all done broke the system and then y'all gonna throw our peoples away for 30 and 40 years and then you want us to be happy with that? How can I feel happy when I just lost 2 or 3 little young homies to the penitentiary for 30 and 40 years. And I supposed to sleep good at night.
The system ain't broken.
I mean, from what I heard, y'all could go wherever you guys wanted in this city. That you guys had the respect of everybody.
Well,
but
that's
also
why we
there's
didn't have
some-
no limit. You know?
Like you guys could do what you want, and for whatever reason, you know, you could say people feared you. People weren't gonna come down to the bottoms and act a fool or like take advantage of nobody. Nobody's
No.
gonna come down there and do it right. And I guess my question is, there had to be a fierceness there. There had to be a level of strength and power in the bottoms that was unlike anything else. My question is, I know for me, right? Like I got a family. If you protecting your family, there's nothing more
But you had to
powerful.
put both of them together. Remember, I don't mean to cut you off.
You are.
I apologize. But you had to put fierceness with fairness. People always understood that we were fair. You come down there in the bottom, you don't tell your butt, no, nothing happened to you. You come down the bottom and tell your butt, and whatever happened, you brought it up on yourself. We was fair in everything we did, all our dealings. We were fair. So any fairness, any fierceness came if you violated this thing that we gave you, which was fairness.
Mhm.
So if you come down there and you do some crazy stuff and you violate our code or whatever, then it happened. That's even if you do it in your own neighborhood. If you ride around here with yourself hanging all off around children and going on and we hear about it, then we want to talk to the man in your neighborhood that run in your neighborhood. Why is this dude running around with himself around children? And if you can't explain that to us, then you open, I mean,
Because you feel like your home got stolen from you.
Then they know they couldn't take it with us out there.
Say that again?
So they know they couldn't take it with us out there. So they had to get rid of us first. Then they came in and took it.
yeah.
That's how it happened.
Which is like what happened when the Crips tried to take it.
They weren't trying to take it. We just had a misunderstanding, and they just come down there, do a little survey thing, but
They weren't trying to take
They weren't
it.
trying to take nothing.
He didn't know what he was getting into.
Yeah.
His homeboy called Quick out, and he looked at how skinny Quick was.
Yeah,
And
because
when
he was,
called
he
Quick
was
out,
little.
when Quick got through with him, Quick hit him everywhere but the bottom of his feet. And he couldn't accept that loss. He went up there and lied.
And lied to
And
them.
he had been beat up by a bunch of people down in the bottom.
Hey, what happened to? I heard a story about you, Bamm, about
Don't believe nothing.
You see how he looked over at me? You didn't have the right lawyer, and so you done slapped him, and you got a different lawyer.
Yeah, that's when they told me, the lawyer told me, said he give me 5 years if I agreed to the stuff that they had against Goat and Big Don. So if I agree to that, I get 5 years. And I tried to slap him, and they grabbed me and wrestled me down. And they every time I see my lawyer from that point on, I had to have cuffs on me. And they sit there, and this my dude, the white dude, Joe Allen Bamm, told me, said, hey, man, you need to get rid of the lawyer. That's the lawyer with mustache, Elton Richard.
Yeah.
And they took me, gave me a hearing on it. And the other Richard said, what I told you, Your Honor, I told you these guys here, they're a different breed. They're going to stick together. I asked you for half of the money up front. He said, but he's my client. I got to bring this deal to him. A 5-year deal was offered to him, and I had to bring it to him. And going on. He said, but he refused it, but I'm willing to go all the way to trial with him if he wouldn't do this going on. I said, yeah, man. And he said, well, okay, well, this is the situation. And he said, well, we going to let him retain you as the lawyer. But I said, yeah, man. I said, this dude here, he said, no, he wasn't selling you out. He was trying, if a deal was offered to you, he had to. I said, how you going to tell me that not only you didn't just ask me to cop out to 5 years, but you asked me to cop out to 5 years to lie on 2 of my homeboys. You see what I'm saying? You telling me y'all got stuff that y'all want me to say and going on. I said, man, y'all lost y'all rabbit ass mind. So I said, so do that mean that I can see my lawyer without a handcuff now? And then he said, it's up to your lawyer. And my lawyer said, yeah. And so I started going down there without a handcuff. But the first couple of months after me trying to slap him, and that's when Go was talking about that earlier, when me and you were talking. Remember me and you had the slap fest in the jail. When I told you, I said, Go ain't never been to jail before in his life. And you, man, just be cool. I said, man, I ain't trying to go.
You thought Go was talking on you?
Yeah, remember Go told you. Go said,
Now you gonna
and
be
I told
weak
him,
as
I
weak,
told him, I
man.
said, listen, man, Don said to you, man, listen, man. I said, Don, listen, man. I love you. I said that Cam Booger ain't never been to jail.
What he is, bro?
That Cam Booger ain't never been
Booger.
to jail in his life. Then Don said, God damn, just do what I say. I said, listen, man, I'm telling you. And then definitely go come over there and say, listen, man, I ain't never been to jail, but I'm a bottom boy, and this is what I'm. And he stood strong.
Yeah.
I owed him a apology for that. He did.
You knew Go wasn't gonna say nothing.
Cause Nisha been caught.
What? Time changed though.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was gonna say that, but cause we came up together, me, him, and shit. But
I ain't
people
trust him
that-
from the get go.
that got us is the people that hung with goat. That deliberate. But when they snitched on us, that's fucked up everything.
Say that again.
I say when they snitched on us, that's fucked up everything. They took us off the street, so now everything just wide open.
Yeah.
Ain't no more control, through the city no more. So everybody, started snitching.
That's the first thing I noticed though when y'all was gone, the love was gone.
Yeah,
like
everybody
it was,
started
I was
snitching.
like, I was lost.
Before that, it
like
wasn't no
motherfucker, for real.
snitch thing. But I say, but the snitch thing came through on, Goat and them in. The people that he fucked with. Yeah. It wasn't on this our side where it had one where my nephew, one hit of the partner, he was on the weak side. We done saved him. I saved him 2 times from getting killed, you know what I mean? But he was the one that turned. Shit like that. But when they started snitching, that killed everything. Everybody started snitching all over the city.
Yep.
Rats all over. It then
They
crazy
say, why
about
do 10 when you can do a friend, all that type of shit. Mhm.
Oh yeah, they came over slower than everything.
For real.
Right, they got
us.
us off the street.
for real.
Hey,
They weren't like that for
And that thing about this generation, like back then, I like hearing from their generation, a nigga was a rat. Like Uncle said, you getting served. You know what I'm saying? You ain't finna come back around like it's all gravy. You know what I'm saying?
You couldn't get in the street like that back then.
Get out the game, man. You got to stay all the way out the game because we dinosaurs right now. We can't win. You ain't gonna. If you go shoot one of them, then you gonna go to jail.
Cause they
You
gonna
can't
tell you.
tell it on one of them. So I mean, because that's against our code. So,
I got shot. I ain't
Best
tell
thing
when I
is-
got shot. I just took my lick.
Check this bathroom out.
Do my own service.
It looked the same.
When you got shot, you just kept it to yourself.
Well, the police came over there and talked to him. I told him I don't know who shot me. I already know who shot me, though.
Yeah. Same thing about
I don't
that.
care who shot me. I'm gonna take care of my part myself.
Yeah.
So that's how we live, though. We ain't gonna snitch on them.
And I
we
mean-
just save our own people.
And what would you say to Rick, man? Like, what would you say to Rick? Like, what advice would you give him right now?
He called Ricardo Rick.
Oh,
Yeah,
do,
yeah, Cardo.
shit, do the same thing I did. Do what you supposed to do. Stand up like a man. I learned one thing. I did 25 years, 8 months. That's just like a year to me. Because I came back home. You know what I mean? That's all in the past. They would have said, God bless America. He blessed me to come back home. I'm happy.
What did your time in prison? What did that? How did
Oh,
that
my time
change
was
you?
good, shit.
How so?
Shit. Everything. I had my own cell. I had all in the unit. I run the unit and all this shit.
And
I did 25 years, 8 months. I ain't never had a shot.
I never had a what?
Shot, right up. I ran the TVs and all this shit.
How did you get to that place?
Shit, from being me. I know we was in the Fed, so, they kind of university. Yeah. I'm from Louisiana. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm going to get a TV. If we don't get no TV, they're going to lock the damn thing down. I'm going to get a TV. I'm going to get a single cell, all this shit.
I mean, how? Explain. Like, how do you get that?
What, single cell?
Yeah.
From who I am and what I do. When I go to prison, I was in prison, but I wasn't trying to get to know nobody. All I come there to do my time and come back home. So less people you know in jail, better.
What was
for
your
you.
sentence?
30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. The less you know, the better it is for you. The more people you know, the more trouble you get into. So I stay away from all that type of shit. People want to get to know me because they heard about me and shit.
Because they heard about you out on the streets?
Yeah. Well, I'm on bottom bars. So just that bottom bar.
So when you get locked, was that the same for you, Bam? You get locked up, people knew who you were from the bottom boys?
Yeah, they did know that.
That thing, when they bust us, That thing went everywhere.
Yeah, the dude Rock, like I told you about Rock and all them DMI, Death Murder Incorporated. They said they was hoping that we win our case because they never seen that many people stick together at trial, and they was hoping that we win because we would have broke the feds. We would have been able to because they never seen that many people go to trial and stick together.
We would have won if our own homeboy wouldn't testify against us. But there'd be somebody from the bottom that testify all for it to get us. You know,
That wasn't gonna happen.
Outside hearsay. No, they testify against us, our own homeboys. That's how they got us. If the one that hang with us every day in the street know what we do,
But the
them the same
thing,
one testify against us.
but they didn't testify to. They didn't testify to facts.
Yeah.
They
They
testified
just testify to what the prosecutor wanted them to say.
prosecutor wanted them to say.
They said, well, you bought Big Don sold the dope right here to you and you know, shit like that. Or he gave me something to sell and shit like that. And hearsay, that's all it took, hearsay to get us off the street. So everybody that was in jail for something else, all they do is they get on the bandwagon and say, well, I seen him with a gun in 94 and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? That's all it took. Yeah. Even though they ain't got to see me with no gun. I carry a gun every day when I was out there. I ain't never got busted with now. You know what I mean? But all they need is just hearsay. So that's how they get us off of hearsay. Yep. That's all it took. What they was, Singleton issue. The case came out for Singleton, and all they need was hearsay. That's how they get us. Somebody just got to say something, that's all. Yeah. They ain't even got to know you. They could just say, oh, well, yeah, I heard he had so-and-so, and shit like that, that's all.
What you want to do now, man?
But now,
Yeah.
just live. Shit, I already did everything else. I already been there and done that too. I'm just living now. Shit, ain't nothing else to do. I can't get back out there because too much going on. I'm 65. But I still feel 37 though.
Do you?
Oh shit, yeah. They could test me any day. Yeah, I still feel 37.
Yeah.
12.
I'm healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. You feel 29? Yeah.
Well, all you gotta do is you. How you carry yourself while you're in the system. You know what I mean? But I say, the less people you know, the better it is for you. If you set your agenda to do this, you know, you gotta stick to it. Don't let nobody change you. I quit smoking. I wasn't drinking, you know, shit like that. I wasn't getting no trouble. Not that I ain't scared of nobody. I already know how to carry myself in prison though. Just do what you're supposed to do and just live your life out and come on back home. We ain't going to prison to add on. We come to eliminate. So I got 30 years, so I know I got to do 26. I'm trying to do that 26, come on back home. My people's out there. The main of my people's in there. That's federal, you know, it's just, they come from everywhere. Shit, they got from Haiti and all the places. Them ain't on my people. My people from Shreveport.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to make back home to my people. Yeah, all for me to do that, I got to stay clean. You know, Bamm went through what he went through, but we all different though. You know, everybody different.
Yeah, cause
You know what I mean?
I was a mad motherfucker when I went. Now I got
I had an attitude, but
I got
I
8
got to
more
stay strong
years.
though.
Would have got a lot more.
You got 8 extra years?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was Pope been at home. I've been told him that.
What'd you get the 8 extra years for?
Stabbing up 2 dudes that was stabbed a homeboy, and the police were choking the dude in front of me.
Yeah,
And I beat him down.
drinking and all
You beat
that.
the police down was choking
Yeah, choking the dude. The dude was already in handcuffs. And the police was choking. I said, well, the dude in handcuffs, why is you steady choking him? You mind your own business. And I started whopping him. They said the court, they said there's, in FPOP policy state that rights and responsibilities say that you have the right to protect yourself and you have the right to also protect staff or inmates. That means you can use necessary force if a person's life is in danger, or you believe their life is in danger. You can use necessary force to save that individual life. And that's what I did, and that's what I fought for. That's why they knocked it down to 2 years. Because I was facing 35. A dude from D.C., he called me 2 pack of cigarettes. He found it for me.
There got to be, I imagine, there's things in all of our lives that we regret, or things that we think maybe we didn't do right by. But it seems to me that you guys keep coming back to this moral code. Like you only going to do that because somebody's crossing a line.
Yeah, there's something in us.
Would you say that's right?
Yeah, it's in us.
Even with your moral code, your assignment is going to protect you.
Yeah.
Your assignment is Dunn's assignment may not be my assignment. Richard's assignment may not be his assignment. Carter's assignment may not be it. Dunn's assignment may be the A, tell the youngster be quiet. Carter's assignment may be tell the youngster be careful. Richard's assignment may be tell the youngster, hey, think. My assignment may be tell the youngster hold back a little bit. So when we outside our assignment, if I'm worried about what Richard doing, and I'm worried about his assignment, and I'm not doing my assignment, then I cause a child to fail. So we all got to do what our assignment says. Whatever we assigned to, whatever we are good at, whatever we affect the children at, that's what we're supposed to do. Don't try to be everything for everybody. This is what we good at. This is who we are. You know, Dunn can't talk to everybody like he talked to you. Can't check to everybody like he talked to us. But yet and still, his message get across clear to us. I can come down there sometime and he can say, hey, man, that girl got shot and I don't like that there. I don't like that mess with my brain. He don't have to tell me. I go make sure that don't happen no more. You see what I'm saying? So that's his way of movement. That's his assignment. So we all got our different assignment in every generation, every legacy. We got our different assignment. Carter can't use the same assignment we use because some of these dudes need a little more emphasis on what you say to them. You see what I'm saying? Opposed to what Richard may say, hey, Bamm, cut that out. Carter may have to pull up and say, look here, man, there ain't gonna be no more of that. You see what I'm saying? So, but that's his assignment. And if I look at Carter and tell him, man, you being too mean, I interfere with his assignment, I get Carter killed. You see what I'm saying? So I don't interfere with his assignment. All I do is encourage him and support him in his assignment, even if it ain't the same as mine. You good?
I'm down on it.
Right now, these kids can't take a loss. They want to kill after every fight. But the federal government moved us out the way in order to get that land. Now they misguiding all these little children.
They lack that code.
They lack that code.
You know, I think just around this city, Shreveport, Louisiana, you know, you definitely, you talk about legendary figures. I think it's fair to say that, you know, you're a legend around here. Everybody knows you. Everybody has something to say about you. I guess I just want to start by just talking about that, about being somebody that everybody talks about, somebody that everybody's got a story about, somebody that everybody knows. When did that start for you, and what do you think about that? How does that make you feel?
In all honesty, things like that, you can't plan those. Things like that, they happen. That necessity is the mother of invention. So being short of stature, naturally, and faced with a situation, you have to overcompensate. Because a person your height or your stature or Dunn's stature, they wouldn't be tried as easily as I'd be tried. So you pretty much have to do things to make people dissuade them from wanting to try you like that again.
When was the first time you realized that you had a reputation?
I actually had a reputation for being a nerd going to private school.
Okay.
And then I was picked on for going to private school because I lived in the poorest area, what was considered the bottom. But my mom worked 3 jobs to put me to private school. So guys like, okay, you go to that little sissy school. So I ended up having to fight behind that. And some of the same guys I ended up beating up later on, they would need problems, and I would have the solution to the problem. So they realized, okay, this guy, he can fight, but yet and still, he's pretty smart, and he willing to help us, and he willing to teach us. So therefore, I become known as a guy, hey, he'll fight, but he also pretty smart, and we can learn a little something from him.
That was one of the first things, the things I've heard about you, when people talk around the city when I first got here. Oh man, he's a knockout artist. He's the toughest dude around. He's a killer. He's this, he's that, he's this. But then I also started hearing he's the smartest guy you'll ever talk to. He got the biggest heart, that he was always down to help somebody, that he understood the law. He was always putting himself out there like that for other people. What is your reputation around here?
Again, like I said, necessity is the mother of invention. I knew the law because I kept running into law. Each time I kept running into a situation with the law, the old heads in prison would sit, and the CDC would sit me down and say, don't go out there and play basketball. Come here, boy, let me teach you about your cage. Let me show you what you got going on here and going on. So I took that and I passed that on to other people. So when they had situations that I know their lawyers was selling them out, I would take time to show them how they make their lawyer work for them, because the average person don't know that their lawyer work for them. So therefore they go for whatever their lawyer tell them. But out of all the things that I say, out of all the reputation I had, I only did what was necessary, what was needed. You know what I'm saying? I only did what was necessary and needed in my situation. But the things that I like to be remembered for is not any violence that I may have occurred in what I was trying to do, because that never was my ends to my means. Any violence that occurred, it happened because situation happened and it needed to be dealt with. But that never was my objective. I had a goal, try to get money for myself and my family and get out of there. And that's what most of us had. Hey, we wasn't out there for the violence. We wasn't out there for the fun and play. We were like, hey, let's make enough money so we can get out the business and get out of here and do something better for our family. That was pretty much our goal. So the thing that I pride myself on was some of the code that we had as far as respecting elders and helping children. I mean, we used to buy clothes for children and all things like that. Those are the things. Like we had a what we call a law, because we never had a leader or nothing. We were just all dudes that we loved each other. We loved our big homies and we listened. But we had certain codes that we'll sit here, something to happen today, and then tomorrow we'll come down there and we'll talk about it. Dawn or somebody say, hey, man, the old lady was stuck down there. Man. 20 people passed by her. Why she ain't getting why ain't nobody put no tire in her car? From now on.
That kind of mindset.
Yeah, so from now on, somebody don't let no 20 people pass her and leave her with them children down there. So now, when we see a lady pulled over, we'll stop, get a tire, put the tire on the car. If she ain't got a tire, somebody go get her a tire.
That attitude, that sort of attitude about community and inclusion and taking care of family, that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with the people of the Bottoms the most. A lot of the folks who are gonna see this ain't gonna really know what the Bottoms is. Can you kind of explain what the Bottoms is? Ledbetter Heights, Shreveport, Louisiana. Can you just sort of explain, what that community was like, what it was like growing up there, and what the spirit of that community?
It was old red light. It was the remnants of old red light district. When you used to have the Port of Shreve downtown, when the sailors used to come downtown, they used to come down there and party. Because that's why you had the whorehouses and all that going on. So the people that stayed there usually was the poorest of the poorest. And people come down there and they party all weekend down there in our spot. Then they leave us to clean up the trash.
Okay.
And going on. So therefore, we always stuck together because we never was respected at other places. When we go places, even when we go with Parks and Recreation, they said bottom children got to stick over there. They didn't want us with the other children that going on. So then nobody else care about us, so we had to care about each other. So that's why we say, hey, listen, no, we're gonna take care of ourselves, we're gonna take care of each other. If your mama needs her bills paid, if we go out and do something, the first money we get goes towards your mama bills. The second money we get, then we can split it up. But the first money got to go toward whatever our objective was when we leave the house that night. And we just did. We, like I say, it was more family orientated than people would believe, because we went by the old codes. And as you say, nobody ever had a set leader where nobody stood up and said, hey, you got to listen to me. But we would listen to whoever knew the most about that situation. And we had, like, if one person know more about this situation than me, then everybody will be quiet and listen. If I know more about the situation than this, if it's something about legal, they're going to come run to me. If it's something about this, they're going to come run to me. Or they're going to go run to some of the others about whatever they feel of expertise. We done seen situations where we done went and said, what happened? And said, well, he did this, him. Bro. And we tell him, man, we love you, but we wrong. We can't ride with that. We love you. We gonna make sure you get well, but we don't ride with what's wrong.
And the way it was sort of described to me first, the first time I ever heard of the Bottoms or the Bottom Boys, anything like that, it was from the police. When I was here, I started talking to, doing some research for a show, and it was described as the most, dangerous and ruthless and vicious gang in the history of Louisiana. What do you have to say about that? Would you call it a gang?
No, it never was gang affiliated. When you come down there, you may see a bottom boy wearing red, you may see a bottom boy wearing blue. He gonna wear what he wanna wear. He may fool with some partners over here, that's some Bloods. May fool with some partners over here, some Crips. Nobody dictate who he fool with. Nobody dictate who he sells with. Just respect the fact that we family and let nothing come between that.
Is that also what you think made you guys so powerful?
I think Janet Reno said in the when we was going to trial that we had overcame several color barriers because they associated us with Bloods and Crips because they seen dudes wearing red and blue. So see, they said, well, Bloods and Crips hanging together. Then I had some white sons that was down there hanging with me going on. And so they said, okay, now they went across the race thing, but our thing was the bottom is the bottom. If you living in the slum or you living in a poor situation or you living in a low income situation, wherever you at in the world, you still got bottom ideology because you're trying to rise up from it. So the bottom is not so much as a place as an ideology. It's I'm at the lowest state, now I got to build myself up. But that's the whole objective. It's more, like I said, they didn't toe down the bottom, but they can't take the bottom out the individual because they stay there to, hey man, better my situation, not just some of the stuff that we see going on right now. It bothers us. It bothers all us because we love these kids out here, and these kids out here, senseless shooting, senseless this and going on, not respected elders is going on, and we know that's not how men operate.
What do you feel is going on now that's just completely different from the time that you guys were coming
Well,
up?
the thing is, when they scraped us, and my personal opinion, now this is strictly my opinion, when they scraped us off, people who kind of had like a moral aptitude of doing things in a certain way and made sure they enforced that. And when you take us out the way, then you got people that climb to the top who never would have been able to be there. These guys did not have the moral status that they would have never been able to climb to the top if people had been there with moral status, because they would observe that and say, hey, you get your butt back down there. You don't belong here because you're gonna mislead a lot of people.
Yeah.
But those people, when they scraped us out the way on them bunk charges and stuff, those people was able to rise to the top. So now you got a generation of children.
Do you think you're still feeling the effects of that because they pulled y'all off the street?
But they did, because now you had people that who was immoral or didn't have the moral aptitude that we had. So now they up there being leaders. And so now they being leaders and they telling guys, forget that, forget grandmama, forget Joe Blow, forget that. That's what gangsters do. And the kids don't know no better. They being misled.
Was that the same for you?
Yeah, it was basically the same, because like I told you, the bottom used to be old red light district. From the Porter Street, they used to come down there, you had whorehouses, you had all this, you had a club on sometimes two clubs on each corner. And even when they shut down the Porter Street and the sailors stopped coming down there, other people from other neighborhoods was come down there and party and everything. So it's always something going on down there. But like you said, our parents and stuff, to keep us away from that, where the prostitution and stuff going, they deliberately tell us stay away from that and going on, because they know that they didn't want us to be exposed to that. But the thing about, like I said again, about the bottom is we wasn't no gang, and we didn't have no leader. The people that we loved and respected, people that we'll listen to it. If Goat know more about a situation than me, I'll sit there and listen to him all day. If I know more about a situation than him, he'll listen to me. That's what we be doing, about the exchange of information. It wasn't no, he tell me what to do, or I tell him what to do, and nobody tell nobody what to do. If I was finna do something in front of, gotten mad out of my mind, somebody made me mad, and I finna do something in front of old lady, he got the authority as a man and as a person down there say, hey, come on, Bamm, calm down. You know what I'm saying? And one of my strategies was, okay, if I got a son in every neighborhood and they're not allowed to fight each other, then it's gonna be easier for me to squash stuff in different neighborhoods. Because all I gotta do is say, hey, get this son from this son here, get this son and let them go there, talk, and squash a lot of stuff, which I did get a lot of stuff
And
squashed.
what I always heard is that your sons, these youngsters that kind of followed you, whatever, that they do anything for, that they had real love for you, and they follow you anywhere.
Well, the love that they had for me was because of the love I gave them. You see what I'm saying?
Do you feel
And
like that's
some-
what love is in general?
And some of them love you as much as they can. So you have to understand who you're dealing with. If a person has not ever been exposed to love, then he can only give you his ideology of love. So some people love is just sex. To other people love is just following them. To some people love is obedience. So they can only love you as much as they can. But you have to accept them for that. You have to accept them when you bring them in there, and then you have to use that to bring situations into their life to help them better. If you bring situations into life, like I said, I could tell somebody, and I call them my sons because family. I mean, I'm serious about family. That's why I call the people in the bottom. They were my family because I seen people call people homies and then stab them in the back later on. So I didn't cut for that homie stuff because I didn't see the reality in it, and it didn't fit how I felt about my people. See what I'm saying? So now when you get to where I start calling them sons and stuff and going on, I start teaching them, like, say a situation hypothetically, a situation where guy owes son a couple of $100, and he said, hey Dad, let's go. Dude owed me $200. I'm gonna go up here and do this and do that. There, you gonna do what? Hold on, let's okay, son, let's sit down now. I ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. And we get to adding up, and I'll write it down, add it up, and then I'll show him a list for, like, all together. We're gonna be out of $65,000, burning you out, paying for the other sons to get out, paying this here out, paying your lawyers. So we're gonna be out of $65,000 for $200. Do that make sense?
So he said he want to steal $200, and you're penning it out exactly how much that's going to cost.
This
him
is
in the
what
long
it's
run.
gonna cost us. So do you want to go here and hurt this dude over $200, or do you want to let him pay you $10 at a time and never fool with him no more? And usually they smart dudes, and they'll sit there and say, yeah, no, Dad, that don't make sense. I know I went against some good advice before. I went against it several times. You see what I'm saying?
Because
But-
of what? Because your emotion or your heart led you
well,
into
the
it?
people told me, they said, listen, I'm saying hypothetically, a person say, hey man, that ain't worth it. That ain't worth it. That ain't worth it. Bam, bam, this and that going on. And I heard them out and everything, but they told me that wasn't worth it, but they didn't show me it wasn't worth it.
How do you show you it wasn't worth it?
Just like I just showed you.
Spell it out.
You break it down and you sit here and say, okay, you got this. You got this going. You got this going. And you got this going for you. All these are positive things. When you go do this little thing over these tennis shoes, you finna lose all this and lose all this here. The value of this here far outweighs the value of that. So if it don't add up, why would you go do something that don't add up?
What about GOAT? Like, what was his reputation around the bottoms? What's his reputation around here?
I mean, you got people who wear many hats in the bottom. What they is to one person, they may not be to another. So that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to say.
What is he to you?
But GOAT is to me, oh man, that's my old head. That's my old head. I mean, he been around. I think he can play basketball like Michael Jordan. But you know what I'm saying. But other than that, he's my old head. Now, like I said, he'll tell you we didn't have some. We had, cause I'm hard headed. We didn't have some rounds. But if I ever needed him, he pretty much been there for me. You know what I'm saying. And the thing about it, whether you like it or not, he pretty much gonna tell you something. If he don't think what you're doing is cool, he pretty much gonna tell you. So you gonna have to, y'all can argue about it, but he ain't gonna just sit back and let you do it and don't say nothing about it.
You remember your first interaction with the police?
No, I remember hearing the first interaction with the police. I remember my mom and my dad getting into it, and my mom was complaining about why she couldn't go nowhere with my dad. And my dad always had a souped up car and everything. He used to tell him because he got a smart mouth. He said, I got a smart mouth. And when the police pulled me over, because he never stopped for the police, but he said, but if the police ever get me pulled over, that they're going to say something crazy, and they probably going to end up killing me. And because you with me, they're going to have to kill you too. He said,
You remember him saying that to you?
No, he said it to my mama. That's why he told my mama that he didn't take her nowhere with him, because he knew that the police had him, and he had a smart mouth. And if they ever got him jammed up and they tried to talk crazy to him and handle him, that he was going to man up and they were going to end up killing him. And by them having to kill him, they were going to kill her too. But it's just like he was saying, the police is, and this is like I say, the bottom is an ideology. It's so many bottoms around the world that people should be able to relate to our stories. I related to them to NWA when NWA come out with that song about F the police, right? It wasn't though because my sister is a police officer, but when she retired police officer, it wasn't. It was the closest ideology to our association with the police that I seen.
That song
That
you were
song.
like, I
So
hear
yeah, see, all my
totally.
songs that I chose is for a reason. They had a reason, and so I would like the song because when they number one Compton. First thing they said, okay, Compton. Now all I ever heard about Compton was they the gutter, they the slime, they this and that, and going on. So now I hear these people singing and uplifting Compton. So I'm like, okay, that's what they said about the bottom. When we, like I told you, we go to the spa. Bottom people couldn't be with other folk. They put us over there. So I said, okay, that's the way they treat us. But they uplifting their city and they proud of their area. So I'm proud of the bottom too. So they live just like they lived in Compton. And then you hear them say, I see all these news report and all this about the police engaged this person and shook their hand and gave them a turkey for Christmas and all that. That didn't happen down in my area. I never seen that side of the police because the police knew that we was a minority area and we was a low income area, so they could get their wreck off. They could come down there and beat people up because the people didn't have money to hire no lawyer. People didn't have enough knowledge about the law to file suit, and it, based on where they come from, their words wasn't going to be held, so the police could actually just get practice ass whoopings on people down there, and nothing was going to happen to it. And all the people could do was take the butt whooping and go on inside their house. So when I seen somebody giving a better description of the interaction of my type of people with the police, that's why I gravitated to songs like that. I gravitated to songs where society is saying y'all a slum, but you proud of that slum. You proud of that of yours. You making a song about it and going on. So things like that was the reason that I chose my music, because I basically listen to nothing but rock and roll other than that.
Like rock and roll?
Yeah, that's basically what I listen.
You
But
still listen to rock and roll?
yeah, I listen to
What you like to
Motorhead,
listen to, man?
Pantera, Corrosion of Conformity, Type O Negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what I identify with about that, and like what he's saying, that when the police come down there, and we didn't do your role with the vigilante, that the Punisher thing.
Yeah.
We allowed the police to do their job if they did it right. If they come down there and arrest the individual and they did their job, we'll either burn them out or whatever. But if they come down there and run somebody's head to the wall or do something like that, then we was gonna interfere.
And you had no problem having a problem with them.
No, we had no problem because one thing about it is we don't respect uniform, we respect men's. Now, if you put on that uniform, the integrity that you're supposed to have for that uniform, I can respect that. But if you have no integrity for that uniform, how do you expect me to respect something that you don't respect? And you the one took an oath. I didn't even take an oath.
And so we were talking a little bit before, you really carried that attitude into prison.
Yes,
you
sir.
carried that attitude. You're gonna judge you as a man. And if you don't have that, you don't have that. And then this thing that you were saying that your dad said, that like if somebody acts a fool in front of his lady, if that happens, he's gonna have to go all the way with it, and he knew that decision going all the way in, right? Now, I guess what I'm wondering is that's one of the wisest men I've ever met. I love that man with all my heart. I've known him very well, so he can attest to this, and I'm saying this with respect. But one thing I've heard about you from a lot of people is that you don't mess around, and that if somebody has a problem with you, if you have a problem with somebody, you're going to handle it one way or the other. And I'm wondering, one, is that true? And is that something that you think has served you in life?
But see, you didn't skip from, you done left A and B and C and all that out the equation.
Explain.
Okay, all right. First thing is, I like to laugh, joke, and have fun because I know how my temper is. That's the first thing. Number two is, I always try to resolve a situation before it becomes a situation.
You said that.
Because I know that if something happened, then I'm too small to sit around and wait for somebody else to act. I can't be retaliatory because I'm too small. So I can't sit here. I can't wait on nobody to punch me and punch them back. Because if they punch me, it may not get no second punch. But I'm not going to sit here and wait on somebody to do something to me if I know that it's what they call in military, I think, a preemptive strike.
Yeah, that mindset overall, how has that served you?
I mean, it go 50-50. I got 11 bullet holes in me. I've been pronounced dead twice, but they also, again, I'm still alive. So through the grace of God. So,
And you're deeply respected.
I mean, I'd rather be respected for, like, even when I was in prison, I used to have conversation with guys all the time. They used to tell me about different things that I did, which I don't consciously pay attention or keep tab of that. But I'd rather be respected for the homeboys I sent home
Straight
other
up.
than the homeboy that I keep in jail with me.
Do you think you can do one without the other?
I mean, it depends on your circumstances. It depends on the circumstance. You got to do what the hand, you got to deal with the hand that you've been dealt. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, try to do everything you can to keep yourself out of that situation.
Yep.
That's the most objective. Then if the situation arises, then you pray about it and deal with it.
I guess the reason why I ask, can you get one with the other? It's the same kind of question I ask Goat all the time. Like I see the position that y'all are in, and I see such unbelievable power. I see such unbelievable potential. I know your hearts. I know what y'all want. I know that your love is for the youngsters out there, and I know that the people in this community, and really all over this country, but in this community right here, the youngsters are in a bad way right now, and they got a lot of obstacles ahead of them, and there's a lot of violence going on. And I believe in my heart that because y'all have been in the places that y'all have been, and you have walked that walk, and you've been in that valley, that you're in a position that you can actually lift some people up and change their minds.
See, that's what I was telling you earlier and going on. It's guys, when the federal government moved us out the way in order to get that land on these trumped up charges and all this different reason, whatever. When they moved us out the way, men's that had, even though we may have been doing illegal things at that particular time, we still had a moral aptitude. Hey, respect older folks, respect children, help elder ladies with their cars and going on. We had that. And when you pull us out of the way, people rise to the top who would have never made it up to the top around us because we would have seen that they had no moral aptitude.
They lack that code.
They lacked that code, and we would have already had addressed that. They would have never had a platform to speak to the children on. But now, when you move us out the way, now they misguiding all these little children, and the little children running around here thinking killing a grandmama and shooting the whole house up with the baby and children is what gangsters do. And gangsters don't do that. And I don't blame the children for it as so much because I can't do nothing but love them because I was in the same boat, even though I had a different set of teaching.
But you have folks like him around you to let you know what was up.
But the thing about it is, I have to, as I always used to teach dudes in penitentiary, when I used to come to a yard, I go out on the yard and I get all the dudes together, and I used to tell them, I used to go over the rules with them. And a lot of them would shake their head like, yeah, man, I know. And I could look in their eyes and tell they didn't know. But I could not hold them responsible until I made sure that they know and they heard it from my mouth.
So, and what you're saying is the way that it was in the bottoms, and I know you would agree that you feel like the code was laid out. The code was very
laid out. If they catch you doing something going on, man, we don't do that. We don't do that. Don't do that in front of that lady. Don't do this here, that. Don't go in that lady yard.
Yeah. The federal government did this massive sweep. They had an objective in mind. They wanted to get y'all off the street. It was one massive sting. Is that correct?
Yeah, I pretty much say so.
Why do you guys think that is? What was their motivation?
We already knew that they had already had the works in for getting that property, about 10 years prior to then. Yeah, they had, we seen the groundwork all on it. And then the dude, Brother Willie X, did the radio show on us. He researched the records and found out they had already been drawing the lines and drawing this for the river boats.
For the casinos.
And casinos and everything because they wanted that property. So now they had to turn us from a lizard into Godzilla in order to make us dangerous enough where they can come down on us and get us with their screaming stuff because there's nothing that we did that made us supposed to got sent away for that kind of time. The thing that we were doing, we supposed to got probably 7, 8 years, 8 years here, 8 years here, and we went back out. But that's not what they wanted to do. They wanted us out the way because they know that, like even with the old folks, if I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna just say one of my old heads because I got a few of them from go on down. One of my old heads, if they go there talking about, tell the old lady, hey, we're gonna take your house and we'll do this here for you and we'll do this here for you, and you ain't got to pay us back for 100 years. And the lady, 87 years old, pretty much letting you know that, hey, she gonna die and they gonna get the property. One of my old heads would go to the lady and say, listen, man, We'll lend you that money, get that thing fixed, get y'all fixed. Don't go stick yourself in that kind of debt.
Where were you the day of the raid?
I used to feed people up at my blue house, so I was up there cooking pork chop casserole. I thought they playing because the police don't usually don't come in the bottom. So especially get the
Because the
knocks
police
on
at that point had pretty much there was very little police presence in the bottoms of
Now
that.
they come through, but the ones who come through, the 2 or 3 of them that came through, they played fair with us, and they'll tell us, hey man, we just trying to do our job, and we didn't have no problem with them doing their job. Just don't come down there with that dirty stuff.
Can you explain? I've heard go to say, but can you sort of explain the raid in your words, what it was, what the federal government did?
I mean, I was in there cooking, like I said, I was cooking, frying the pork chop to get ready to make it a pork chop casserole. And dude was knocking on the door saying police. So I started laughing because I think it's somebody joking. You know, how police make it to my door. Because like I said, I used to cook I had started, after I got shot up that last time, I used to start just cooking every day for people and they come by and they eat. So they said that. I like, yeah, all right, y'all better get away from that door they're playing for. I answer back at you.
Yeah.
And they said, go on. Then my son who's in there cooking with me because I don't like I'm real when I'm cooking people food. I don't like my hands to touch nothing. So he pouring the gin down my throat and pouring the what's called. So I'm watching and I'm cooking and going. Rep was in there, so I'm going on. So finally, and Rep I said see who that is playing at the door. And then Rep said, that's them for real. And then next thing you know, I took out toward the back room. I hit the door, but my big snake wouldn't let me get in it because it must have felt the people because my big snake blocked the door. And when my snake blocked the door, somebody tackled me. And the lady voice said, just be still, Bam Bam. We got you. Be still, Bam Bam. Just look at the number. Just look at the letters on his shirt. Look at the letters on his shirt. And I said, ain't no woman tackling me this hard. I know that. So I twist around and I can see the lady in the ski mask. I can see the blonde hair coming out on the ski mask, but there was another male officer had me wrapped around. And so that's when they went back there and they finished shoot my snake because at that time I had like a 9-foot Burmese python. And so they finished shoot my snake. Then they said, no, don't shoot the snake. And they went in there and got my snake. Then they went in, got the guns out the back room and came on to the front. They made us crawl out on the belly. And I'm just like, man, how these dudes let the police come up on me? And that's all I kept thinking. How these dudes, man? I said, man, I got to holler at these dudes. And then I got out and I crawled out and I looked, everybody in the bottom was laid down. I said, oh, that explains everything.
It was explained to me one of the largest troop movements of American troops against American citizens on American soil in the history of this country. Like 250 National Guards in the storm.
Something. Yeah, they had the army tank thing. They had the
Helicopters. You know, Ledbetter Heights. It's a historic neighborhood. You know what I mean? There's been some amazing people that come out of there. Some amazing culture, changed the world. You know, physically, it got torn down after that. Did you hear about that while you were locked up? What does it feel like now? How many years were you locked up?
27, little over 27 years.
You know, coming home and seeing the bottoms now, you know, what is that?
I heard about it, but like I probably mentioned before, when I'm in jail, I cut off everything. You know, my sister, like I said, she's a police officer and a minister and a pastor of a church going on. So she out the bottom, but she's not gonna tell me nothing concerning anything illegal, anything such and such. So I never even really heard nothing of it. And she's the only one used to basically I had contact with. She sent me my allowance and her and my friend they sent me my allowance. They sent me the Inquisitor so that I could read the Shreveport paper Inquisitor. They made sure I got that so I can get
Were you reading it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get my
So you
information
knew that it got torn down.
Yeah. But
And what was it like when you came out and you saw it?
Oh, now when I came out and they took me down there, and the dude who doing the documentary on me, I went in every spot that I had pictures of, and I took pictures in that exact same spot where now it's nothing, or it's an old shack there and going on just to show what the time had eroded, how time had eroded and going on to, because we sit in prison and the time don't pass for us like it passed for a lot of people. And unfortunately, a lot of time we think we're going to come back to the thing that we left out there. And that was a cruel reminder that you time still continues on while you're in jail. But me personally, I have to, based on the fact that I'm not a submissive, I can't really, especially in environments I've been in, I can't, I can't be focused on the outside and do what I need to do on the inside. So
Yeah.
I basically have to shut that out and live from day to day. We was taught to fight, but you was also taught to respect the fact that if you lose, ain't nothing wrong with losing as a man. See, these kids right now, they lose a fight and they go get their gun and want to kill the dude. Long as you fought back and you lost as a man, we was taught to respect that too.
Yeah.
At least you didn't run.
Yeah.
These fights that you lost allowed you to get better at your ability to fight. Right now, these kids can't take a loss. They want to kill after every fight. One of my partners down there from California, he sit there and we thought he was him and this old man out of Philadelphia. We seen him go in the cell. We thought he was fighting the old man. And we hear them fighting, the punches going on in the cell, man. I go get a couple of his homeboy. We go to the door, man. We say, look here, G, I know. You know you ain't. We snatched the door. We know you ain't in there fighting that old man. And he said, no, man. And then he had the pads. He was hitting the pads. He said, man, I'm from California, man. I've been shooting since I was 11 years old. I never had the chance to learn how to fight.
Wow.
He said, y'all dudes, he said, the Philadelphia dudes know how to box. The DC dudes know how to box. Y'all Southern dudes is cockstrong. He said, man, I got to learn how to fight. I mean, that's true.
He said y'all Southern dudes are cockstrong? That's what he said?
That's what he said. He said, y'all Southern dudes cockstrong, man. Y'all, I can't. He said, I got to learn how to fight. He said, I never had to.
Well, how'd you learn how to fight so good? Because I heard you're pretty legendary.
I don't think I classify as a good fighter. I just classify as being tenacious. I won't stop. Cause I lost with 2-bit. You remember 2-bit?
Yeah.
2-bit put my bicycle on flat, and that country son gun could fight. That son gonna beat me up 7 times. And the 8th time, every time he come down there, I told him we gonna fight or you gonna fix my bike. I lost every fight we had, but I bring that bike right to him. That 8th time, he said, "Man, come on, go get that bike. Let me fix it." Yeah, so it wasn't about always win. I was just tenacious. I wasn't gonna. If you get tired for me, then you can kiss the baby.
Yeah, there you go. And I mean, what happens when you're looking at a sentence? When you're looking at a sentence like you guys were looking at, what does that do with your mentality? I mean, you told me that you had to sort of be a different person in there than you are out here. Obviously, did that come immediately?
I'm gonna say this, right? And I didn't realize what I had until I got to the federal system, cause I ain't gonna say I took for granted. But when we went to trial, we were the same people we was on the street. We were supportive of each other. We dealt with each other. We going on with each other. And when we got in there, and dude said, man, I be talking good about my co-defendant. They said, man, you talking with your co-defendant, man, forget that. My co-defendant, hold on, no, man, my co-defendant went to trial with me. I ain't got nothing bad to say about my co-defendant. We all went to trial together and going on. Then I had to explain to them, man, the dude who testified against you is not your co-defendant. Because your co-defendant means that he defended yourself against that charge with you as your co-defendant against that charge. If he took the prosecutor's side, then he's not your co-defendant.
So that was uniform among all the people.
Hey man, when them dudes got there and they told dudes was telling me from Baltimore, all them other dudes like, man, we were watching y'all trial, man. We ain't never seen that many dudes stick together against the feds.
Wow. How many people was it?
It was all together. It was 13 of us.
And everybody, and nobody said nothing on anybody.
Nobody said nothing. They went and got dudes from other places. Went and got my brother. Went and got people from other places facing other charges and brought them in. Half of the people we didn't know, half the people we didn't know just spoke to or took a picture with. But yeah, they didn't. Nah, we had opportunity. I remember they come to me with deal. They come to GOAT with deal. And they, man, you can take that and shove. Why would I give a man some time I don't want? No, we don't do it like that. I'm not gonna give no man no 35 years for me to go home in 5 years. They come to me and they offer me 5 years to say, not tell the truth on them, but to say some stuff against him and Dunn that they had in the book. That's when I tried to slap my lawyer. And then that's my lawyer.
You tried to slap him?
Yeah, I tried to slap him. They started making me come in with the hand.
Because he was trying to make you lie on GOAT.
Yeah, well, he had brought this deal to me. And then I had this white guy named Joel Bamm. He did this book called The Secrets and Tools of Post-Conviction Relief. And he was down there in the cell next to me. And I had my wife bringing him a TV because you had to have everything brought to you in the city. And he was telling me, man, you need to get rid of that lawyer. So I filed to get rid of the lawyer, and they gave me a hearing on it. And then the lawyer was explaining, Elton Richard was explaining to me, he said, listen, man, you are my client. I got to do your best interest. He said, the prosecutor offered me this deal to give you 5 years if you would testify to these things against them. He said, but it's my job. He said, I don't represent them. I represent you. It's my job to bring that to you. So I didn't mean it. He said, I told him. He used to be a police down there named with Mustache. He said, I used to be a police down there. He said, he said, Judge, didn't mean you get into it because I told you, I said, you're going to need to pay us some money up front because these guys here are going all the way. And you threatened to put me in the basement. He said, yeah, you did say that thing going on. He said, yeah. He said, but man, if you're going all the way to trial, I'm going all the way with you. He said, but I have to bring this to your attention. He said, I had to bring the deal was offered. And that's when the prosecutor said, you know what? I'm going to make sure you get the most time of all. And then that's when they went and got my brother.
He said that? I'm going to make sure you're going to get the most
Yep.
time of all. What was your thinking?
I think it was, all I got is today. I was dealing with it one day at a time.
I know you ended up in Supermax, but how did that happen? Like, what went down?
Well, Supermax came, I'm not going to say ironically, because everything God do for a purpose. Through the long situation of me being locked up, the first thing, like I said, my sister was a police officer and she's a minister. They went and got my big brother and put my big brother up on the stand for 3 days and got him to tell a lot of lies against me and our homeboy, stuff that he never even seen, didn't never even happen. And so it was hard for me.
Did he grow up in the bottoms too?
Yeah. It was hard. My brother been there in Angola, been there at Louisiana State Golden Glove boxer, everything. But that was the hardest thing. So when I hit jail, I was angry. When I hit Florence, I was angry. I had a lot of anger. Scared of needles, but finally got me some tattoos because I was so angry and everything. I used to tell people all the time I'd rather be shot with a gun than stuck with a needle. But anyway, I got in there. I had a lot of anger going through this, and my sister was always telling me that I had to forgive and let that go and forgive and all this and that. And cause she loved both of us because we both were.
And most of your anger was about your brother and your brother testifying against you?
Yeah, it was basically about him because he's my big brother. I looked up to him and everything, and then he do that to me, and I did everything I could for him. So in dealing with that, my sister, she would stay no matter what. She write me a letter, send me my allowance, and I tell her don't tell me that no more. She steady. That was gonna always be in the letter. She gonna put some scripture in there. She made sure I had Bible. She gonna put scripture in there. She kept on until about like last 12 years. I sit there and I got to pray and I said, well, God, you telling me I don't do the hypocrisy thing. I said, you telling me to forgive somebody. I don't know how to forgive. How I forgive this dude get up here and do this here to me. And all I did for this dude, I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know how to play like I forgive him. So help me. And so I had 3 dreams in a row. A hand would pick up a hammer, and the hand would hit me in the head with the hammer, then throw the hammer down, and I would run over there and start hitting the hammer while the hand was moving behind me. And then so on that 3rd time, then I said, why is you steady fighting the hammer when it's the hand that done did the damage to you? Then that's when I told it to my sister, and she said, that's God showing you that your brother was just a tool used against you. Your brother wasn't your actual enemy. The devil was your enemy, and your brother was a tool used against you. So I prayed and prayed about it, and then that gave me the ability to be able to forgive my brother. So now I said, okay, if I can forgive my brother, then I can forgive everybody who testified against me because they were used in the same fashion. So that's when I took it from there, and I said, okay, well, the slate clean with me. Everybody, I forgive everybody folks, because in actuality, the way we live, some of these people, mama had dope charges, simple dope charges, and the Fed threatened these people, mama, with 30 years and 20 years if they didn't testify against us. And now me, I came out the jail, I pretty much got my health, I pretty much got my insanity. If somebody mama had got 35 years for me, I couldn't say that. Yeah. I'd have went crazy in there. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, I dealt with that, and got past. I had called myself changing my life. So when I changed my life, they put me in a cell with. They got this crazy dude that they tried to put in a cell with me. And he was a mental patient, and I told them constantly because I had tied up my cellie because he tried to rape this little white kid on the compound. They put him in there with me, so I had tied him up and throwed him out the cell. So anyway, when they started the smooth thing, they bring the mental patient. They kept putting him in the cell with people, and what they would do is they'll put him in there and then they'll stop giving him his medicine. And when they stop giving him his medicine, then he go paranoid and going on. So when you cuff up to go to rec, he'd either cut you with a razor or while you cuffed up, or he beat you with locks and socks. So everybody had started beating him first. So he was all beat up and everything. So when they tried to put him in the cell with me, I said, nah, man, because I had made up in my mind that I wasn't gonna hurt nobody else. So I said, no matter what, I'm not gonna hurt nobody else. So they tried to force him in the cell with me, and I wouldn't take him in the cell with me. I said, because I'm not gonna let him hurt me, but no, I'm not gonna hurt anybody else. So they tell me, well, you're gonna take him in the cell, or we're gonna put you in restraints. I said, well, that's what y'all gonna have to do. And they put me in restraint for 45 days for refusing him as a cellie. And
Why did they put you in restraints?
because I refused him as a cellie, and by me refusing him as a cellie, that was starting. It was starting what they call that domino effect. Other dudes started turning down their cellies instead because what they was doing it was basically for money. But yet and still, when they claim that special management unit is for people who so violent, they have to have a certain amount of violence. So they were putting people in there who was not compatible with each other. Like when Motown killed this cellie, like 5 cellies had got killed right while I was there. And that's when my lawsuit went into play because that's why I can't feel nothing in my hands right now because by the time they took the restraints off me, after 45 days, some of the inmates had contacted the lawyers and told them because I was writing, when I see them do something to somebody else, I would write the lawyers. And so some inmates wrote the lawyers and said, hey, Bamm always writing you for the stuff they do to other folk. Now he done disappeared. We ain't seen him in 28 days. So finally they got down there and they had to go get the governor of Pennsylvania, and the government of Pennsylvania sent their assistant down there and told them they had to release me from restraint, but they couldn't release me that day because I had been in restraint so long that my skin had grew over the handcuffs.
Motherfucker.
So they had to soak my hands in the red stuff, and then they had to cut my skin open to get the handcuffs out. So that's when they let my lawyers got down there and they took my case, and that lawsuit been going on. So when I wouldn't drop the lawsuit, they would just come in and like a lot of the police, all of them wasn't dirty. Like Les your name, they'll come and tell me, say, man, you know they gonna come visit you tonight. I said, yeah. He said, yeah, be ready. And then they'll come down there, Richardson, cuff up. I said, cuff up for what? Cuff up, you just threatened my officer. I just threatened your officer. And they'll come in there going on, I cuff up, and then they take me down there, they rough me up, put me in restraint. Then that's when one of the lieutenants, Lieutenant Bernard, told me, said, hey, listen, man, I don't trust some of my coworkers. He said, listen, do not be cuffing up because when you cuff up, they do not have to have a camera on you. If one of them something's gonna hurt you going down that step, it's their word against your words.
The lieutenant told you this?
Lieutenant.
So he said refuse handcuffs.
He said because he said I don't trust some of my coworkers. He said so these young lieutenants they gung ho. He said so listen, you always been straight with me. That's what they tell my sister. When my sister used to call that everybody, they said listen, he one of the most respectable dudes I ever met. He said if you talk to him, he'll stand down. But if you're in the right, he wants something dead about it. He said, but if you go to him talking crazy and going on, then he gonna make you go all the way. He said, but if you go talk to him right, he said, I never had no problem with him. And Lieutenant Bernard told me, he said, I'm telling you, make them bring the camera, make them do the full everything. He said, because I'm scared one of them gonna be taking you down their step, they're gonna be done broke your neck, and then they're gonna say, so I had to start making sure that I couldn't cuff up for them. I had to start making sure they go get the camera and everything, and they go get the camera, and once they get the camera, they gas me and they take me out, but at least I had the camera on me, so therefore they couldn't.
So then that would be the process every time they wanted you.
Every time, almost 200 times.
So they come to your cell, They come to your cell, they tell you need to leave, they say cuff up, you say I'm not gonna cuff up.
Now what they'll do, they'll come to the cell and say, first they come to me and they try to talk me into dropping the lawsuit. They told me they would put me on
The lawsuit, the original lawsuit off the
original
45
lawsuit.
days.
They told me they would put me on the compound. They would get me out of special management unit. They would put me on compound. And I said, no, what about changing y'all tactics and the way y'all deal with people? If y'all ain't gonna do that, then ain't no need talking to me. So then they come back again and they said, listen, we can get you I think they call it a downward departure. They said, we can help you with a downward departure and going on. By you not costing the government, we could get some time cut off your sentence. I said, well, no. I said, if they not going to change this here, I don't care what they trying to give me. If they not going to change this here for these old people and all these other people that going on, then I'm not going for it. And then I stuck to it. And that's what they ended up getting me sent to Florence. They said, because when I started doing that, other inmates said, well, I ain't gonna do my celly, man. You know, y'all gonna have to do me. I ain't gonna do my celly. So, because, like I said, about 5 cellies had been killed in like a year period of time. And dudes was cutting as soon as they cellies get in because the police will sit there and say, well, I don't see no blood. And
During that same process, guys refusing to cuff up,
Yeah,
they were getting killed in that process.
Yeah, I got new paper clippings of my lawsuit and everything. They show you how many was killed and
So Bamm, so you know that's coming in. You know these other folks being killed by doing that. They're coming into you telling you to cuff up. And what are you telling yourself? There just ain't no way you're gonna break. You just
you can't do that there, because if you ain't got a cause to stand for, then man, it ain't worth living. It ain't worth living if you ain't got something that you believe in enough to die for it. So, and that was just my thing. I had made up in my mind all the stuff I did for the devil. I had made up my mind to God that I wasn't gonna put my hand on nobody else. And even when the officer who I got into it with, they can say what they want to. I never put my hands on them.
to suffer what you suffered in that situation, and then to follow through with this case and actually make that change, you could keep that from happening to somebody else.
Well, what they did was Obama had bought this prison in Thompson. You remember he bought Thompson, Illinois? He bought that prison in Thompson, Illinois. Obama had bought this prison, but they hadn't staffed it. So what they did was they took the smooth and they shut all the smooth down. And
They shifted all the who?
They shut all the smooth down, special management unit, the one that were using the tactics that I suffered. They shut all those down when our lawsuit got in into one of the final phase, because they asked me could let them make a class action. So we made a class action to include everybody who couldn't go all the way like I went. So now what they did was they opened up Thompson and they staffed Thompson first with the cadre, then they staffed it. And what they did, they shut down all the smooth and they put all the special management unit inmates in the Thompson prison. Then they took all the stuff that we had suggested. They took all the stuff that we suggested, because I had suggested in bringing people on the range and putting them in the cells and let them be by themselves until they can get a compatible cell, and then get together with them, make sure the cell was compatible, to give them a couple of weeks, and then put them together, as opposed to just stuffing them in the cell with somebody right off the bus and going on, to decrease the possibility of somebody hurting each other. And then they reduced the time from it being an 18-month program to a 9-month program. So everything, and they got more educational programs, and they got more outside rec. So now they done did all those things. So when we went before the judge, they said, your class action suit is moot, because there no longer is the smooth, because they done moved them all to Thompson, and all the tactics in which you was complaining about has already been addressed. So my lawyer says we won, even though they made my class actions moot. We won because we got them to do everything.
Did you feel like you won?
Well, if the inmates came out better, then I won.
Yeah.
But I still got my punitive suit going on for my personal damage.
Is that against the individual officers that did it?
Yeah, against the 14 that did it. I still, cause my eyes, that's why I had to wear the shades. I got all the gas. They used to leave it, like when they gassed me, they wouldn't wash my eyes. And so the gas scarred my corneas or something. So it's like, that's why light I got photosensitive clock. Light hurt my eyes. That's why I have to wear these all the time.
What do you want to do now?
Basically, my main thing, whatever I do, is going to be in the line of serving God. Number two is I want to reach out to the children and try to do something constructive to try to give back a little bit from some of the things that I may have been a part of. And also, like I said, I goes downtown on Mondays and Tuesdays, pass out sandwiches to the people just to try to give back. And I try to do my videos to the children to try to reach them. And, the thing is to try to reach them out of love because you can't sit here and try to tell somebody something about doing something different with their life when you actually haven't invested into their life. And that goes for politicians or church people, whoever. If you sitting up there in that nice church house and you ain't, or you sitting up there in a nice politician building and going on, and you don't know the pain of what these people going through, and you're not actually investing time, money, or whatever into their life, then you really don't have no say. So what can you tell
That's
me?
right.
Is when I'm hungry, my stomach is growling, and you sitting there, your nice office with your nice suit on going on, but you telling me this and that, what's good for me. If I create a hotline, we don't want no names, don't want no information, just say, okay, what's the situation here? Well, man, what about if a dude step on this dude's shoes and they're going on, okay, dude step on this dude's shoe, what this dude want to do? Dude want to go back and bless him. All right, the dude who want to go back and bless this dude, what do we have going on in his life? Do we have a mother? Do we have a child? Do we have a job? Do we have a car? So you find out the things that he got, how he feel about them. Oh, he love his mom, he love his child, he love this, he love this, okay. Now you get to the point where you ask him, say, well, let me ask you this here. At what point in time in this dude situation did he stop loving his mom and his children and all that there? No, he still love him. How can he still love him if he ready to forsake all them for a pair of $60 tennis shoes? I said, now, you know what I'm saying? You can't be a genius and a dummy at the same
That's
time.
right.
So which one is it? And then you get him to think about this here. And if you stop this guy from going killing somebody, you just saved 2 lives and 2 families from suffering.
The people you were closest with, like right now, those people who are still out there in Florence, or them people that you were real close with, do you feel like they're like-minded? I mean, like how long?
I told you, I've been around Larry Hoover, Wayne Perry, Jeff Ford. All of those individuals those dudes are not the people that they used to be. Those dudes have a different mindset, and people are not giving them the opportunity.
That's
They're
right.
judging them by what they used to be. Wayne Perry, that man is the dude. Has got a good heart. I don't care about how many people he murdered or whatever. The dude has seen a change, and this dude, they do not give him the platform because if you give him the platform, he would sit there and actually talk down some of this stuff that's happening. Same thing with Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover, he would talk down some of this stuff that's going on. He don't support that no more. The man constantly would tell me, he said, man, I'd rather be out there on the street picking up can than be a legend in prison. That was his exact word to me. He the one started doing my legal work when my co-defendant went home. Big Don. These dudes has got different mindset. You give that man opportunity to come home, that man come out here with a different mindset. He gonna be able to reach a lot of children. But they don't want to give him that opportunity because, and I can only think that they really don't want the problem solved because it's not economically sound for them
That's right.
to get the problem solved. They make more money being able to lock people up by having detention centers instead of having detention centers where they give attention to people's situations and try to help them. They can just lock them up and make $75 a day off of them.
right.
But that dude, Larry Hoover, Jeff Ford, and all them dudes, old dudes, what they was in their past and all that, those dudes got a mindset for the communities. They don't like what they seeing going on out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't talking what somebody else done told me. I've been around, these are dudes, my partners. I've been around these guys. These dudes are solid men. These dudes ain't changing, just like with me. These dudes ain't changing their way because they scared of nothing. They changing their way because they realize it don't make sense no more, and they hate to see these children going through what they going through. I give them respect. Them dudes are sincere. They got a sincere heart. Ain't nobody make them do nothing. Them dudes to make a conscious decision, and they're very intelligent men. You know what I'm saying? And I believe in my heart, based on talking to them. They didn't have to lie to me. They didn't have to lie to me. I accepted them the way they was. And them dudes sit there and would come some of the conversation. Wayne Perry used to talk me down all the time. He used to talk me down sometime, and the folk get me mad. This is just he's not about that. The dude. He was young when he got caught up did certain stuff. He's not even crying about getting out. He still want to do something productive while he in
And
there.
while he's in there,
Yeah, put him on a compound, let him do something productive. Same thing. Yet still you use his past against him and keep him locked up behind that wall and keep him isolated where he can't be effective to trying to help this. Same thing with Larry Hoover. This dude, give him a chance. This dude, like I said, I wouldn't be speaking on these dudes if I felt like these dudes some crime, credit, some dude. These dudes is number one, I respect them because they men, they ain't scared of nothing. And number two, I respect them because they got a good heart. Number three, because they made a conscious decision that, hey man, I'm tired of seeing these children get hurt. I'm tired of seeing this thing going on. These are my people. These are my people. I don't like this. No, I don't like this here. And I understand them because I love my people.
Yeah.
And I definitely understand what they're going through, man. And I just I pray one day he'll get that opportunity. But they're different individuals. I've been around some who still unforgiving and still like that. So that's why I know the difference. I got some don't care if the world burn right now. I've been around some don't care if the world burn. But those individuals, nah, they punish them because of their past. But those dudes want to be part of something different. We all got gifts from God. And like I said, God is a God who reapeth where he do not sow it. Where he may plant, talk to somebody, I may come here and water it,
Yep.
then somebody may sit there and reap it. So whatever part we do it, if we doing it for the benefit of the children, especially doing it under God, then it's just as important as my part, it's just as important as his part. You know what I'm saying? Do what our assignment is. His assignment may be to pass him out handkerchiefs. My assignment is to pass him out chicken.
Yeah.
His assignment is to pass him out water. Don't waste our time watching what he doing and miss our own assignment. Whatever God to put in your heart to do, long as it's doing something. I'm not a believer in racing to the church house and passing somebody that's got a wreck or got a flat on the side of the road.
Yeah. It's out there in front of you.
Yeah, that's out there in front of me. I think God said Matthew 28, 32 down to 42, that this you didn't do for the least of my brothers, you didn't do for me also. So I mean, that's my thing. If I see somebody need some help, I do it right then. If I get a chance to minister there, I minister right then. If I don't get the opportunity, then I keep on moving. But I'm not gonna force it on nobody because the help is coming regardless. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it to them regardless. But if they open up to that, but I'm not gonna force nothing on them. That's why when I speak to these children about different things, I don't want the enemy to be able to use it. Say, well, he just talking to Christians or he just talking to this type of people. He just talking. I'm talking to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to everybody who willing to listen on slowing down on something that's violent. What is your goal? You know what I'm saying? You got a Boulder City roadmap and you're trying to navigate through Shreveport and you're trying to wonder why you keep running into roadblocks.
Yeah.
You got the wrong roadmap. You see what I'm saying? I can't tell you how to choose your life and going on, but I do know that senseless violence don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense and they're only gonna bring
So
heat
you think
on
it's
it.
specifically the violence, like that's
I mean, the violence is not going to allow you to accomplish any kind of goal you want. I ain't never seen a man. I was down there with El Chapo. I was down there with a tour. They folk they millionaire. They got $15 million on the books. They had to eat the same soups I eat. They had to eat the same. In the Supermax, you got the Unabomber, all them people. These folks got some of these dudes got $1 million on their book, but they got to make the same store that I make. So what good it do you to be a millionaire and you sitting up in jail?
That's right.
So it serves you no purpose. And that's the thing about it is align yourself with your goals. Okay, what your goal is to make money. You can't make money if you every few minutes you burning yourself out of jail or you getting a lawyer or you got a murder case and going on. You know what I'm saying? Eventually you going when you get unlucky, you're lucky if you get out of jail on them. When you finally get unlucky, you're gonna be dead. Either way it goes, you're not trying to, your goal don't make sense. You got a self-destructive goal. Because I used to laugh at the nerds in the square that were going to work and going on. When I was sitting in jail, I realized they were smarter than me.
Do you remember a specific moment being locked up, facing that, the totality of that, where you felt humbled? Or were you just taking moment by moment? Or this was a reality you already knew was potentially coming, given sort of what was going on in your lives?
I had been doing time since farm school, so getting locked up didn't humble me. It's when I got when I got shot up over on Juella, and they had pronounced me DOA, and they wasn't expecting me to live because the police officer had got shot the same spot that I had got shot. He had a bulletproof vest on, and he died just a week before the end.
At that same place?
No, at the same,
But in the same location in his
same
body.
location. That's why they kept turning me over all night because they couldn't understand how the bullet went around my heart and came out the back instead of
You were shot 8 times that, or
No,
8 separate times?
Yeah, no, yeah, I got 11 bullet holes. I was shot like 4 different times. But I had grabbed the gun. I was trying to take the gun, and when I couldn't take the gun, I was just trying to unload it. So make sure it couldn't be shot. But long story short, that humbled me because the lady come there and she said, switchboard lady, she said, baby, they've been turning you over. They've been coming to here mess with you all night because the jump out boy, remember the jump out boy had got killed? That's he had got hit the same place. I mean, they said, baby, they keep turning you over because they can't figure out how the bullet went around your heart. It wasn't nothing for it to bounce off of. And she said, baby, whatever you do when you get up, don't leave the Lord in his bed when you leave. So, and that's why when I got there, and then my dudes came and got me, my sons came and got me. They kidnapped me out the hospital that night, and they took me to the house. And so when they took me to the house, though, I kept thinking about that, and that's when. After then, I started cooking at the house. I wasn't going out that much. I had started cooking. I had fell back. I had started cooking at the house because I don't know, something had happened, man.
She said, don't leave the Lord in this bed.
Yeah, she said,
That's beautiful, man.
But I heard it when I couldn't see when I had got hit, and I said, I can't see, right? So the whole other stuff went down. But anyway, I'm going across the street, and all I can see is the light, and I passed by this house, and it felt like a church. So I went and I put my Jimmy under there, and I knocked on the door, and I said, ma'am, what y'all call the ambulance for me? But I gave him a fake name. Then I gave my wife the real name. They said, baby, why you said your name is Eric Taylor? I said, because they probably wouldn't have came and got me if I had said Sebastian Richardson.
Wow.
And then so that's when I heard the little boy, some little kid about 14 years old in the back said, Mom, that's Bamm Bamm. Man, Bamm, man, you got a big old hole in your back, man. I got you, man. I got you. And my wife had told us to make sure they take him to Willis Knight. Don't if he be unconscious when they got there. But they came there and they put this suit around me and they blow it up with air. They put like a vest around me to seal up all the holes, and they blew it up with air.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the police ladies said, Bamm Bamm, come on, you stronger than this. You've been through more than this him. Because I was paralyzed once before where the bullet had hit me. I still got a bullet in my hip for that. But anyway, long story short, they took me there. When they took me, that's when I went up. I ain't gonna go into the story about the stuff I see, but I went up through the ambulance. When I went up through the ambulance, I seen a lot of stuff. But anyway, when I came back in the ambulance, I heard one of the EMTs saying the prognosis of something on this entry alone said this will be a DOA. So we called and they called in. And I heard them say this when I shot back in my body. And I was like, man, you talking about dude was praying, Lord, you give me another chance. I ain't gonna do nothing else wrong no more long as I live.
Yeah, I know that.
I was praying, son, God.
Hey, how about that? So that police officer was saying, Bamm Bamm, you tougher than this.
She's a black chick, and my sister, everybody who helped me, my sister took him a flower and a card.
Wow.
By the next day. But anyway, she's a black chick with glasses on. My sister took her card. She knew who she was. She took the ladies at the house cards and plant. I bought the little boy a bicycle. But anyway, when the dude said that, and I looked up and I said, man, I ain't dead. I can read your name tag. And he looked and I said, yeah, your name tag said Kelly. And then he called back and told them to get the stuff stat, this and that. And they started working them and they got me up there. And then that's when they got my wife. They sent my wife up there, telling my wife that they wanted to wheel me down there in the hospital because they said the doctors were scared to work because it was too many people at the hospital. So half of the people trying to find out who shot me, and the other half were the people trying to explain that they didn't have nothing to do with me getting shot. So they said the whole hospital going on. If somebody come out with a gun back then, my motto used to be, you ain't gonna pistol whoop me. You ain't gonna shoot me without me trying to take it. So that was just the life I lived at that time.
Have you ever seen an act, something a police officer's done that I mean, I imagine that you have love for that woman for saying that to you in that
Oh
moment.
no, I mean it's that's the thing about it is like I told you, my sister is a police officer, and I know some. I mean, I respect police officers who listen. We as a community, as a people, we need police officers. You know what I'm saying? We're not against police officers. I don't think none of us ever been against police officers. We against people who get behind their uniform and don't do their job and be dirty, use their uniform as an excuse to be abusive toward folk. But anytime a police come down there and did his job, he never had no trouble from
Same
us.
way you would be if there was somebody in the neighborhood. If there's somebody in the
Exactly.
neighborhood was getting over on the elderly or doing something wrong to the kids, that wouldn't happen in the neighborhood,
Exactly.
right?
But as far as the police come down there and did stuff, and we ain't got if you do something and that police take you to jail,
So
we
right now in this city, when you got the murder rate, reaching the highest it's reached, in the history of the city, and the violence is just going off, and it seems like senseless and completely unorganized and making it's just tragic in all ends. Like, what role do the police have in this? Like, what would you like to see the police?
they lost their credibility. They lost their credibility. So without their credibility, it's gonna take men who from the streets to be able to get the credibility, and they need to start trying to resolve some of these situations to get these kids to understand that every argument don't have to end in the death. Every argument don't have to end in you going to jail and somebody going to hell. And that's what people need to get them to understand, that being a gangster mean also thinking. So don't sit here. But the police have most of the police department with some of the stuff the children been seeing and stuff, they have lost their credibility. Then they hiring all these young officers who, no disrespect to the police and everything, but they hide from where they can and going on, and they're not properly trained. And so now they gung ho, and they want to come there and talk bad to people and going on. They go around and they do that knocking stuff and going on, but people don't even respect that because even the way they do that, you can do stuff, you can do a good thing and do it in such an ugly manner to it no longer have no credibility.
Yeah. So how do they get that credibility back?
I mean, first thing is they need to start finding credible people to do things and help them do things and be a part of that with them. So then they can piggyback off their credibility and then they can start become credible themselves. If they go out there, you can't just sit here and say, okay, I just seen you shoot a dude down in the back, or half of your officers shoot a dude down in the back and you turned your head or you went along with him and going
Well,
on.
then you dirty and rotten. There's no hope for you, right?
you
But I
see what I'm
mean,
saying?
but with somebody, yeah. Go ahead.
Under the code, under the blue code, I used to say this in jail. I used to see officers come there, working there. Those dudes was I could see them before they got turned. Those guys came there with the objective of doing their job and being fair. But the association brought about assimilation because they got with dirty officers, and under their blue code, they had to turn their head and going on. They had to turn their head to this, or they amen this, or amen this wrong and going on. So now you amen that, so you done become dirty. And now those officers there, now they lost their credibility because people done seen it and the streets done talking. The street is talking. Oh man, oh, he want to talk to you. I ain't gonna talk to me. He was just with that officer who shot the dude in the back last week. And he got on TV and said the dude was coming at him, and we show the dude wasn't coming at him and going on. The whole force has lost their credibility. Like I said, they need to team up with some of the dudes from the hood, pastors in the community, pastors who know the people in community, and do some things to establish that credibility. It ain't got to be the whole police force. The ones who really want to be a part and want to be able to go down there and talk to people, let the pastor and let the dudes show them how to invest in these people's lives. And once they start investing in these people's lives and sowing seed, and these children will feel comfortable coming to them and saying, hey, listen, this is the problem I got. Or, hey, what do I do about this?
Because you do need them. I mean,
You got to have them, man.
But when for both of y'all, when you're in prison, I mean, there were COs that did right by you, right? That you
Yeah.
could trust, that did right. Like you said, if somebody came in and talked to you and used reason every single time,
Lieutenant Bernard told me on his own officer. Lieutenant Bernard told me, say, hey, listen, man, I don't feel comfortable with you going down there without that camera. Because some of these lieutenants, they've been to hurt you, man. So he the one told me to start making sure And I get the camera brought down there by any means necessary.
Which is why you refused to cuff up when they came to your cell.
Exactly. This is Lieutenant, and I respect him, Lieutenant. And then, but Lieutenant Pennard done gassed me a couple of times. And every time he done gassed me, I respect every minute of it. Because he did it everything by the book. He did everything by the book. He did it. If other ones that had got me in a rage, and I was too far gone when he got there, he gonna do his job. He gonna gas me and going on. But I respect it because he gonna do everything by the book.
It's really just about, and the same thing on the streets right now, shining a light on those ones and being like that. Look at what that will get you.
Yeah.
Like, look at what that will get you.
And but they have to stand up. When they stand up, it's just like but that goes both ways. When dude like Lieutenant Pennard is on, one of my little homies may be doing something clowning or stupid. I tell him, listen, man, hey, don't do that on Pennard. He's a straight up dude.
That's right.
Straight up. Don't
That's
do
right.
that. It go both ways.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I said, no, don't do that to him.
And would you guys be willing to sort of do that for the police now?
If they doing their job and going on, yeah. If dude going on, yeah, come on, man. Don't give him all that lip, man. Just doing his job. Come on, we do that. We do that all the time.
And would you do that in the bottoms back in the day?
Yeah.
I mean, were there any police back then that you feel like?
Well, that area had very few because it was a picnic to them. They came down there and they just had fun. But if you had one, whether it been the bottom or anywhere else, you had one that came down there doing his job, we had no problem with him. He go in there and get him a sandwich and come out and, hey, got a warrant for 5 of your boys here. He come back, and 5 dudes will be standing right there, ready to turn themselves in to him. Then they born right on out of jail and going about their business.
Damn. Dude, Dennis, are we good on? No. Yeah. We could do more. We could do more.
Yeah,
later.
we don't want me in trouble. Yeah, he should be able to climb up. Look out.
So you gonna climb up the wall?
Yeah, he ain't no monkey.
Hey man,